Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Premodern, and Patreon subscriber John gave me a dealer's choice league to play whatever I want to play in Premodern. And what I want to play is this Genesis Rock deck that Brian Cowell, who is a different person than me, that's Kowal, used to win the Premodern, one of the Premodern side events at SCG Con Milwaukee a couple weekends ago. I played a pickup game with Brian after on Sunday afternoon when all the tournaments were done. He just had a backpack with like 10 Premodern decks in it. And I played Standstill versus this deck. And I got my ass kicked. And it was a lot of fun watching it happen. This deck's job is to just kind of not die forever until you could set up a turn where you check their hand with Cabal Therapy and then Haunting Echoes all the cards out of their deck. And then you can win with whatever's left. Haunting Echoes is exile all cards from target player's graveyard other than basic lands. For each card exiled this way, search that player's library for all cards with the same name and exile them. Over a long game, which is what this deck makes happen, we've got 6 discard spells, 10 if you count the flashback of Cabal Therapy, a bunch of passive life gain, disenchants, sweepers, card draw and walls, which just take up a bunch of time, removal, and then Genesis, which gets back your passive life gain and disenchants and card draw and walls, and Krosan Tusker as a 4 of. Brian was telling me he loves this card, and I love this card too. This is a card I own a foil playset of that I have ever since Onslaught, even when nobody else cared about this card. I just love this one. 7 mana 6/5, but it cycles for 2 and a green. When you cycle this card, you may search a library for a basic land, put it in your hand, then shuffle. It's like an uncounterable instant speed green divination where one of the 2 cards you draw is always a basic land. Incredible stuff. And then with Genesis, that's a whole ass engine. You shred through your stuff. And while your opponent is just working through all your rock cards, there is 1 copy of Haunting Echoes looming, where if the game goes this long, you have the inevitability to just exile their ability to do anything, and then you can win with whatever's left. This deck is super sweet. Get to play Krosan Tusker, get to play Genesis, 2 cards that I enjoyed a lot in my youth, and that's kind of the point of Premodern, right? Making you feel things. Let's do it. This is Genesis Rock. The NYSE Open is returning on June 6, 2026 to Long Island, New York. This proxy-friendly vintage tournament has the guaranteed prize pool of 8 pieces of Power 9 to be drafted by the top 8 based on final standings. Any additional profits made from the event will be added to the prize pool as on-site vendor credit. This tournament has been great the last 2 years. How often do you get to act sad about winning just a time walk? You know I'll be there. See you at the NYSE Open on June 6 on Long Island, New York. Use my link in the video description or find the New York Stacks Exchange on melee.gg. I'm on the play in round 1. I'm going to keep this hand. I have enough mana to play the Wall of Roots in my hand, and then the Wall of Roots gives me the mana to cycle Krosan Tusker, and then we're gaming. Opponent also kept 7. We've got a Wooded Foothills into Goblin Lackey. All right. This Wall of Roots, you're going to be important, my friend. Drew another non-land, which kind of stinks because Goblins is a mana denial deck. And I need my mana not to be denied for at least 1 more turn. Or I need to find the other land quickly to get Tusker Tuscan. If I can get a Pernicious Deed down, I feel pretty good. Oh no. The second Lackey. Well, the good news is they're not porting me here, but the bad news is that didn't matter because Tusker's instant speed, as we discussed. If I draw a Swamp here... Okay, if I drew a Swamp there, I could have had Pernicious Deed ready to go. Is there anything I can do here with the double Wall of Roots activation? Because I drew a land now. I can Wall of Roots on my turn and on their turn, but that's not enough. Okay, I think what I want to do here is play the Forest and pass. Because this lets me represent Treetop Village as a blocker for Goblin Lackey. But they don't have to port until I've activated it, at which point I can't cycle Tusker. Oh wow, they're just going for it. Yeah, you didn't have to do it like that, but yeah, I'll cycle Tusker for a Swamp. I'll get hit by Lackey and hope that Pernicious Deed can catch me up. And the way the rules work is you always have to get the land before you draw a card, which is usually... conveniently, how you'd want it to happen anyway, because then that's a land you can't draw. I'll block 1 of them, save at least 1 damage and the extra Goblin trigger. Siege Gang Commander, that's among the worst things that can appear, but I do have Pernicious Deed ready to go. Okay, I can take out everything except the Siege Gang itself here, which is actually a pretty good place to be. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't need to put a counter on my Wall of Roots, so I simply won't. Activate Deed for 1. This will kill the lackeys, the Fanatic, and all the tokens. Fanatic's going to bonk me for 1 on the way through. And then I have to beat this 5 mana 2/2. And with Ravenous Baloth in my hand, I feel okay about that. Wall of Roots means I can play Baloth even if they double port me this turn. Skirk Prospector. I don't care very much about that. They'll probably port my Swamp here. Makes sense. Wall of Blossoms. I can go face down Vigilante and Wall of Blossoms here. I don't know why that would be better than Baloth. Why would that be better than Baloth? Now I'm sticking Baloth. Just want a big fella in here. Goblin's not particularly known for their artifacts and enchantments. Hey, popping off the Prospector. Ringleading? Yep. Alright, here it comes. The reload. Hit double Pile Driver. I'm not a blue deck. That's not as scary as it could be. Also, that tapped them out of port, and your boy has Cabal Therapy in hand. And this is nice. I'm having fun. I know I'm halfway through one game, but I'm having fun. How about Goblin Pile Driver? I'll name that one. Do you think they have any of those? They do indeed. Oh, there's 2 Incinerators over there too. Well, I guess I'll take another 2 cards. I'll play a Wall of Blossoms. Draw a card. A Wall of Roots as well. Alright, Therapy you, take the Gem Palm Incinerators. Goblin Matron is kind of a scary card to leave as the last card in their hand. But also, what are you going to do about it? Dweeb. And I can even attack here. They're not getting through my 0/5s. Take a piece. A Matron is probably going to get another Ringleader, would be my guess. And then they need to find mana to cast that thing. But that is another reload. There it is. And I've drawn a Forest. Okay, here I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I kind of want to get aggressive. Fire up a Treetop Village. Fire up a Treetop Village. Attack with all my creatures that don't have Defender. And then I'll play a face down Vigilante. Put some counters on my walls. It's turn 7. One of these walls has been in place since turn 2. Oh, wow. Alright, yeah, they're willing to spend their actual cards. I'm not sacking that to gain 4 life. Rest in peace damage on the stack. Magic is better without that, though Ravenous Baloth was definitely a card that massively nerfed from that change. Okay, opponent needs to come up with a mana source to play Ringleader, then Ringleader needs to actually hit, and they're pretty far behind the Treetop Villages. Nice. Yeah, main deck Pernicious Deed. We'll take it. And then we bring in 4 Engineered Plagues. 4? That's so many of that. Okay, Duress, not a card I think is very good against Goblins. I also don't think I'm trying to haunt their Echoes. I can see Ravenous Baloth being good, just as being a large body. Smother and Therapy are good. I like the walls. Oh, the Vigilantes. We just mentioned how those don't really do anything after drawing several of them in a game. That means I can bring in another card if I want it. I don't really have a lot of faith in Blastoderm in this matchup. They can block it for a long time. I mean, it's better than Disenchant, though. Is it better than 3 mana 2/2? 4 mana 5/5 for a little while? Or I could actually just keep the One of Echoes in. Yeah, I actually kind of like the One of Echoes more than I like the One of Blastoderm. Maybe I'm a fool for that, but I accept that title. Hand looks beautiful. If they have Lackey, it's going to connect. Oh, I think they're chasing the nut draw. They mulled to 4. I think if they play turn 1 Lackey, I'm going to Cabal Therapy naming Goblin Ringleader, because that's probably the scariest thing they could put out of a Lackey on a 4-card hand. Okay, nothing. What does that mean? Do I still Therapy Ringleader? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just going to pass, because they can't play Ringleader for many turns. And every turn that I wait on Therapy, like if I wait until they have 3 mana, then target them with Therapy, that's 2 or 3 more draw steps that they've had to draw the Ringleader. A second Engineered Plague now in my hand. I'm not an expert in this format, though I do feel like I'm doing pretty well here. I'm pretty far ahead in this game. A green splash revealed, though I guess we could have deduced that from the game one Wooded Foothills. What am I worried about here? A war chief? I'm going to Cabal Therapy Ringleader and just see what's going on over there. Goblin Ringleader, Goblin Tinkerer, Gem Palm Incinerator. I was right on the Ringleader. Incinerator and Tinkerer. Okay, I'm going to go Wall of Roots here, and then I can cycle Tusker in their end step. This is going to be the rarely seen 3-mana 2/1 Gem Palm Incinerator in play. Nope, going for Tinkerer and leaving a red up for reasons. All right, cycle Tusker. And I'm just going to jam a double Engineered Plague, kill their whole board, their hand is blank. Forest works here. I could save a damage by getting Swamp, but I think I can handle that damage because I think my opponent's genuinely going to deal 0 damage to me this game. Pernicious Deed, also not bad. A Engineered Plague, name Goblin, and then name also Goblin. Yeah, they're done. Yeah, the mull to 4 into double Engineered Plague after dealing 0 damage to your opponent over 4 turns. Not where Goblins wants to be. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2. My hand needs to draw some action, but I like the steady resources. Kind of stinks that I have the 2 5-drops that I want to be my end game in my hand. All right, well, now my 1 of Haunting Echoes is gone. That's okay. Much better than a good card being discarded this early. But that does affect my end game. I actually have to win now. I can't just exile all the action in their deck, whatever that ends up looking like. Ravenous Rats. I'm going to dump. Oh, Withered Wretch is in their deck. Meh. All right. I want to discard Genesis, like fucking obviously. All right, it's fine. I will take the low-hanging fruit and make them have Withered Wretch next turn. Wall of Roots means I can buy back Genesis next turn, which puts them on exile it right now or don't ever. Because, like, putting it back in my hand against a Ravenous Rats deck sounds like worth doing. Boo. All right, well, no surprise there. They knew Genesis was in my hand and still played that card, so it's fine. I accept. Wall of Blossoms. Treetop Village. That's the turn. Wasteland. Hypnotic Spectre. Okay. That's a flying creature. The discard barely matters. Flying matters a little bit. Oh, Krosan Tusker. All right. 1, 2, 3. Cycle this. I'll get a forest and draw a card. Another Wall of Roots. All right. Passing the turn. I hope Hypnotic Spectre takes one of the lands out of my hand, and then I can get all the spells out of my hand next turn. And then I don't care anymore. Another Wasteland. All right, the odds are in my favor. What do we got? Lost Wall of Roots. That's not too bad. I am more interested in the Vigilante because Curse Scroll and Phyrexian Arena are cards that could be in their deck. All right, you got this forest from me. Running out of cards here. That's the plan, right? Okay, I could put a -1 counter on wall to have flipping Vigilante up available to me. How much do I care about that versus having extra stats on my creature? But I'm just going to play this face down without using Wall of Roots. Yeah, I'm a smother away from being completely stable here, or a Pernicious Deed. Yeah, we'll lose a land here. Only determine what color I lose. Keeping the swamps probably a little better. Factory, and I was hoping to just get Hellbent and not care at all. All right, I'll play the swamp so I have 2 of each color no matter what happens. That's the turn. The forest is gone, and now there are not a lot of cards I would draw and not be able to do something with immediately. But I am slowly bleeding out to this 2/2 flyer. The Windrake giving me the business. Just exiling some cards from my graveyard. because they have the mana. Why not? Why let me have a graveyard at all? If that factory ever wakes up, the Vigilante can donk it. Another land. I got 5 more draws this game. And no graveyard left. If he's going in, I'm at 10. Forest, hell yeah. That's the turn. My kingdom for a smother. Even drawing Ravenous Baloth buys me 2 more draw steps. Hey. Alright, well there's that one. That's 2 more draw steps, and there are other beasts in the deck. Like the Tusker is a beast if I somehow believe casting it is better than cycling it, which is currently not how I feel. That things could change. Hey. More Baloth. Do I want to attack? It would trade with their entire board. Yeah, I think I do. Alright, yeah, just taking damage is fine. 3 cards in hand. What are they? Probably all discard spells, would be my guess. Though there's sometimes a 1 of Drain Life in these decks. Hey, alright. Now what do we do? Hold your fucking horses. Okay. If I pop this for 3, I could turn Vigilante up first. I think I should attack first with both Baloths. If they get Mishra's Factory involved in the blocking, that's great for me, because then Vigilante actually gets a hit. A Pernicious Deed is in play. This is what we were waiting for. Opponent can attack me to 2. I think that's okay. That stops any second main shenanigans from happening. Okay, so Vigilante is not optional, which means I want to deed for 3, holding priority, and then turn Vigilante face up so it's a 4-drop. Okay, everything dies except my stuff. I'm 1 short of this being a lethal attack. Disappointing. But I am winning the race. Okay, attack with everything. Okay, yeah, if they feel like they have to block here, I love that, because they actually have me... Like, attacking with Factory next turn functionally kills the Baloth. What card am I worried about here? Curse Scroll? Just in case they YOLO it. I think they would have played that out, though. I think their hand is all discard spells. Maybe there's Dark Rituals in there. I'm just going to name Curse Scroll, because I'm trying to think of things that deal 2 damage to me. Persecute, Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual was something I mentioned. Persecute's gnarly, though. Well played. I love seeing this in decks. This is one of those old school tricks, by the way, that the rules don't allow for anymore. You choose a color on resolution of Persecute, not when you cast it. But in the old days, people would be like, Persecute green against a mono blue deck, and the player would be like, yeah, okay. And then on resolution, I name blue. That was one of the old tricks. That doesn't work anymore. They closed that loophole. Okay. I like Ravenous Baloth. Do I like Blastoderm? Probably. Gaia's Blessing, kind of mid. I don't think I'm going to Haunting Echoes this opponent. Duress is going to hit their Duresses, basically. Yeah, I don't want bad top decks in the late game, which means Duress is bad. I might not really be a buyer on Cabal Therapy either. That could get me Gaia's Blessings in, which are at least continuous action. I could see arguments for Naturalize if they're going to have Phyrexian Arenas and Curse Scrolls. But I have 3 Vigilantes already, and Naturalize is kind of a blank. Gaia's Blessing at least cycles off. Engineered Plague answers Nantuko Shade cleanly, as well as any number of rats. I think I'm going to do it like this. Until they show me more on the disenchant side. Oh, I saw the Factory. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I probably should have a Naturalize in, though I don't want to gum my hand up with them. Alright, I'll keep this. We love a Wall of Roots. Opponent went to 6. Who's the discard deck now? Duress can only take Pernicious Deed. Wall of Blossoms. First appearance of Dust Bowl. I bought a foil Dust Bowl like 6 years ago to put in an EDH deck. Thanks for that, Premodern. I'm rich. Nantuko Shade, that's that guy I said. A Swamp and Wall of Roots. I'm not going to block this Shade. It's worth their entire turn to pump it and kill Wall of Roots. Blocking it means they can't do anything else this turn, but they don't have to. Hypnotic Spectre. That one's solid. Right, Dust Bowl's not very good, so I'm going to pivot onto Ravenous Baloth Gaming. And I hope Hypnotic Spectre hits the Genesis. Yeah, Shade is also bigger than Ravenous Baloth. And that card's good. All right, I'll take a hit here, and I can start chumping Shade with Wall of Blossoms next turn. All right, they're sinking the mana. Or some mana. Genesis to the graveyard. It's like it didn't even hit me. Another Shade. Yikes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I do want Genesis back. And Llanowar Waste is better than Dust Bowl. Just keep hitting things that are better than Dust Bowl. Wall of Blossoms. And I don't think I'm attacking back. And Engineered Plague would be so sick here. I just didn't see Shade game 1, and not everyone plays it. But I think I'll have it for game 3. And I think I am going to need a game 3. Okay. I am prepared to block over here. And they can decide if they want to pump and kill that wall, or just push damage over here where I'm not looking. Both Shades are being pumped right now. Okay, I take 6, discard a card at random. None of my cards really matter that much. Kind of the sad joke here. I need Pernicious Deed, the card that they duressed on turn 1. That was clever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4/4 Genesis, as Garfield intended. They don't have enough mana to kill both my creatures here. If both Shades attack... Oh, fuck me! Alright, yeah, now they do. Perish, huh? That's a good one. And because of the Wasteland last turn, I... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... No, okay. Pernicious Deed does let me buy exactly one more turn. I will not be using Genesis here. Alright, dead. Clutch Duress. Alright, Nantuko Shade. Good to know. Card I specifically mentioned and then did not acknowledge. I don't think I want like a lot of plagues. I just want some access to it. And Gaia's Blessing might actually stink. Is 2 the right number of that? The problem is I don't know if my opponent has 2 Shades and happen to draw them both that game, or plays 4 and it's an essential piece to their beatdown plan. I think with Smothers and Deeds, the plagues are just extra anyway. Cabal Therapy is just really bad after turn 2 or 3, though. Okay. One more Engineered Plague. Stacking them up. I like my hand. Just sturdy bodies. Duress proof. They'd have to be a sniper with Cabal Therapy to name Ravenous Baloth on turn 1. Treetop Village in. Can't play around Wasteland here. That land coming into play tapped will be a problem for me on turn 4 if I try to wait. Duress me, duress me, duress me. Hell yeah. I duress you. Uno reverse card. I choose duress. Put it in the graveyard. Pernicious Deed. A nice draw immediately after my opponent missing on a duress. Nantuko Shade. Okay, I don't believe this opponent is going to have enchantment removal. That's not how their deck works. Pithing Needle's not in this format. The old Mishra's Factory Nantuko Shade combo. All right, you're pushing your beats. I think I'm just going to cast Blastoderm here and bet. Like, if opponent wants to play a swamp and tap out to trade with Blastoderm and leave me with Deed in play, I accept. Yeah, I can block here. This, wow. All right, it's just fucking dead. Sweet. Didn't even make me pop the Deed. I attack with Big Derms. Sick. It's just happening. I will add some more pressure to the board then. If they perish me here, I'll gain 8 in response and then continue developing. Also a beast, conveniently. Hey, they're done. Cool. All right. The old miss with duress, then top deck the card they would have taken. They won game 1 because they duressed Pernicious Deed, or they won game 2, and then they lost game 3 because they duressed and Deed wasn't there yet. Perfect. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I am on the draw, in round 3. Hand's got mana and stuff to do. I'm in. That's the rock. Trusty old rock. Secluded Step. Okay, I believe this is the Astral Slide player I played against the other day. They said hello again. And who else is playing Secluded Step? Well, the question is, do I want a Cabal Therapy now, naming Lightning Rift, or next turn naming Slide? And I'm going to go next turn naming Slide. Seal of Cleansing. That won't find a lot of purchase in this matchup. It just means I have to play and pop my deed all at once. All right, I'm going to name Astral Slide here on this Cabal Therapy. We missed. All right, there's Akroma's Vengeance Ivory Mask. Oh my god, and 2 plows. Okay, well, that Ivory Mask is interesting. But Temple of the False God does not tap for mana here, and won't for a very long time. Opponent would have to draw 2 lands in a row for this Ivory Mask to be a problem. Cycling Renewed Faith, okay. Keeping the information known, and played out the Temple. Okay, I'm gonna flashback Wall, or flashback Therapy with Wall here. Ivory Mask, how bad is that? I have 3 Nantukos in my deck, and I can put my opponent into the Dust Bowl next turn knowing that they're already struggling. All right, yeah, I'm going to take the plows. Float a green because I can. S-Words, 2 Plowshares. There's a Spark Spray in that hand now. Mask Vengeance, Spark Spray. Okay. I was 1 mana short of getting a cheeky attack in with that Treetop Village. They missed. Oh. Well, that's good. All right, I am just gonna... So my options here are play out Baloth and then start Dust Bowling next turn when I'm pushing damage, or Dust Bowl now and make sure nothing happens. I'm gonna get greedy. I don't even know if it's greedy. Like, I just don't care about Ivory Mask if I'm bashing with a 4/4. And, like, you can't even play Ivory Mask because the Temple of the False God is not actually a land. I don't think anything can go wrong here. Like, Swords to Plowshares, drawing 1 in between would answer the Baloth, but otherwise, I don't care. Attack with Ravenous Bee, and then I can even Therapy as well. All right, Cabal Therapy. Problem is, I just don't even really care about these cards. All right, I'll name Akroma's Vengeance, because that at least cycles. Ooh, Decree. Decree's all right. That's something. And then Dust Bowl and destroy target non-basic land. I'll sack a forest to do that. I'm just going to have to emergency cycle Decree for 0/1/1s. Game on. Ooh, missed the land drop. That means I'm going to get pushy here and just try to win. I don't have to destroy the temple because it's not, as we've discussed, it's not even a land. Treetop Village in. Pass the turn. Okay, very mana-hungry deck over there. Kind of stumbled, and I had land destruction as well. Not bad. Haunting Echo is pretty sweet against an opponent whose core mechanic their deck is built around is putting their stuff in the graveyard on purpose. Tranquil Domain, destroy all non-aura enchantments. That's any number of Lightning Rifts or Astral Slides. Love the Vigilantes. Pernicious Deed also destroys everything. I don't think I need Smother in this matchup. Do I want Naturalize on top of everything else I'm doing? I have so much removal for this. It's crazy. Maybe I don't need the second Echoes. There's one in there somewhere. The game's either I'm going to beat them up with 4/4s, or the game will take forever because they're sliding and rifting. And those are really the only outcomes. Do I want Plague for Soldier? No, Pernicious Deed does that anyway. Do I want Gaia's Blessing in case this goes, like, infinity long? Do I want to win the infinity game, or is a normal range of Magic gaming acceptable here? I don't think I need these Naturalizes. Yeah, I have so many sweepers that clear all the enchantments that I don't need to mess with that. I'll bring in the Gaia's Blessings and play the infinity game. Clunky ass dumpster of a hand, but I love it. Keep. Battlefield Forge. Haunting Echoes, alright. It's here already. Do I want to get ahead of a Rift and duress them now? And Rift is one of the ways they can actually win the game. 2 Seals, Plow, Renewed Faith, Wrath of God. Interesting. I kind of want to take Renewed Faith. That's the only cycle effect in the hand. It's also a redraw to help them find the next land. I'm not going to be applying so much pressure that them missing their third land drop for one, even 2 or 3 turns is going to significantly change the game. But if I can cut off their velocity and make them play awkward cards, I'll do it. All right, moment of truth. Did the cycle result in a missed land drop? It did not. Blood Moon. That's hot. All right. I mean, I got a lot of basics in the deck and 4 Krosan Tuskers. There's one right there. I can play this game. We'll see who that Blood Moon actually burns more. Because my opponent has Wrath of God in their hand and just turned 2 of their 3 white sources into mountains. Played another mountain. I know their whole hand right now. It's Plow, a Seal of Cleansing, and a Wrath of God that they cannot cast. I would like a forest here. Drew an Antuco Vigilante. All right. Now I don't even have to care about Blood Moon. Wall of Blossoms. Spin the wheels a little bit. Oh my god. All right, well, I'm pretty rolled up here. And this is something I really love about Premodern. It's turn 5. We both have full grips of cards. My hand barely even does anything, but I'm like, yeah, I'm in a commanding position. And it's somehow true. Do I want to play out a Vig just to flush out the Swords to Plowshares? I think I do. Face down with Morph. Do I want to free their mana by blowing up Blood Moon? I think I do, because I do have Treetop Village going here. That is ultimately my win con somewhere. Ooh, the second Plains. Look at you. Cooking. Now I definitely blow up Blood Moon. I turn this face up for its morph cost. Destroy target Blood Moon. Wrath of God's out. Okay, so they spent Blood Moon, or they lost Blood Moon and cast Wrath of God to kill an Antuco Vigilante and a card that can't jump on the way in. I think that was ultimately a 2-for-1 for me. Maybe better. Okay, I do not want to cast Genesis into the Swords to Plowshares. Do I want to alter up or offer up Treetop Village on the altar of Swords to Plowshares? I think so. That puts it in the graveyard where I can echoes it out later. Llanowar Waste. I want to make Blood Moon appealing. And I'll play this face down Morph, which, if they care about future rifts and slides, they might be incentivized to plow, which is great because I have Tranquil Domain in my hand. Okay, Pernicious Deed means I'm also not worried about soldiers. I'm just going to attack with my Morph and then pass the turn. Opponent's playing Draw Go, missing land drops, but stacking up hands. There's the third Vig. At some point, they'll get itchy and just bonk this thing, and I'll bonk Seal of Cleansing on the way out. Not that Seal of Cleansing is a card I care very much about, but might as well take it with me if I can. Temple of the False God, which is actually on this game. Wall of Roots. If I play out Wall of Roots, it's another thing that gets wrathed in a wrath. But what's it doing in my hand? I'm not a survival deck. If I can tease out a wrath, it's not even that big of a deal. The opponent's still playing Draw Go. Me still attacking with my 2-2. They're at 9. They're going to have to do something about this 2-2 eventually. Swords to Plowshares qualifies. Haha! Destroy your Seal of Cleansing and gain 1 extra life. Gotcha. And now Echoes is actually kind of nice. I don't think I'm going to do it now. It would have taken... Or this doesn't take hands, right? Search that player's library. Yeah, this isn't full Surgical Extraction. I kind of want to get a Decree of Justice in the graveyard or a Slider or Rift. Like something really high impact before I rip off this Echoes. I didn't bring in the other 2. This is the one I get. I'd like to make it count. What's all this? Eternal Dragon. Yeah, right. That's a 5/5. Race is on then. Okay. Now I can Blessing Echoes back in. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Echoes you. Let's get the plows out of the deck. That lets me get a little more bullish with my options. Okay. Renewed Faith, Seal of Cleansing, 3 plows, Wrath. Is there anything else in here I have to be really worried about? Avalanche Riders is cool. 3 Decrees. Do I think they play 3 or do I think there's 1 in their hand? Sacred Ground, what's up? 2 Tormod Scripts, alright. My graveyard is not totally safe. Only 1 Astral Slide. Okay. That's done. And then Guy's Blessing, target me. I'll go Duress, Tusker, Echoes back in. I don't even know if it makes sense to put the Echoes back in. Hit a land drop, Treetop Village, and I will pass my turn. And maybe there was something to do here where I take 5, play Deed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I probably should have been a little more patient on the Deed. I can take 10. I could take 20 here and still be mostly okay. But the Eternal Dragon coming back forever is a bit of a beat. All right, big draws. The other Blessing. Right, face down, Nantuko Vigilante. What could that be? Guy's Blessing, target me. I'll put Guy's Blessing back in my deck and no other cards. Cabal Therapy. Interesting. I know there's a Seal of Cleansing in their hand. I suspect there's a Decree of Justice in their hand. I'm going to name Decree of Justice just because I don't care about Seal of Cleansing. Ooh, Lightning Rift. That one's actually scary. Okay. Actually, no, it's not because I'm sitting on Tranquil Domain. All right. I'm going to pass the turn, I guess. Mountain. That one is news to me. Okay, I'm taking 5 here. The Vigilante is a 3 power creature, and so are the villages. Opponent's at 9. Rift is just gonna have to be fine, I guess. Then I'll Tranquil Domain. They're sliding out their dragon. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna Domain right now before they've made any decisions about anything else. The only red mana left for them is Battlefield Forge, so they have to take 1 to do anything here. Okay, they just let it happen. Okay, the Rift will kill this. Turning it face up won't save it. Rifting out the dragon, or sliding out the dragon, means it'll be back as a blocker. All right, cycled Forgotten Cave after everything else resolved. That's 2 damage I saved. Another cave. Opponent's down to 7. There's that Seal of Cleansing. Okay, I no longer know anything. It costs 5 to bring this back, and then 7 to cast it. That's 12. They've got 9. That's a much smaller number. I don't know anything in their hand right now, but I should probably flashback Cabal Therapy just because I'm going to deed this 7-drop away anyway. Decree of Justice is still the card I'm worried about. We got one. Justice and Plains were the 2 cards in the hand. Do I play Pernicious Deed? I definitely play Pernicious Deed, but do I activate it? That gives me... Oh, they have Seal of Cleansing, so I have to activate it. Well, they could force the action. They should seal in my end step or during their upkeep, somewhere where they can buy back the dragon. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, dragon dies, and they'll probably bring it back in the upkeep. That must be the plan. Then I can attack them to 1 on this turn with my double Treetop Village, and then I can push around the dragon for the last point next turn by attacking with both Treetop Villages. There's no Swords to Plowshares left in the deck. Sacred Ground. Okay, that doesn't matter. I will not be dust bowling this game. I'm just going to try to get my last points of damage through. I can even cast Genesis because I top decked a land. Okay, put you to 1. Play a bonus 4/4. 3 lethal attackers. Your hand is currently 1 blocker. Wrath of God does not take out the Treetop Villages. There's no Swords to Plowshares. I could play Deed pre-combat to play around Decree of Justice. Feeling pretty good here. This was a sweet game. Mana is being tapped. Lots of it. Oh yeah, hardcast Decree of Justice. Love it. That actually would have stabilized if I didn't have the other Deed. Lost that for 0. And then wake up the squad. GG's. Love seeing Slide Rifter out here in these streets. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables. I'm on the draw in round 4. I'm going to keep Trusty Old Rock. Got mana to do stuff, and I trust my deck will do stuff. A Wooded Foothills. I'm not a great hand into Jackal Pup here. Goblin Patrol. That's like Jackal Pup, but it sucks. It's like if Jackal Pup was also Time Walk, but not for me. Alright, what do I want to name here? Just Lightning Bolt? Alright, I'm going to name Lightning Bolt. That's just a good card they have. We missed Ball Lightning, though. That one is good to know about if I can get ahead of it. And terrible news if I can't. And not every red deck plays Ball Lightning, so I'm never going to name that in the dark. Maybe there's something where like Goblin Patrol indicates the presence of Ball Lightning, because I played red decks without Goblin Patrol. Oh, come on. A 1-drop? Outrageous. Alright, well, I'm going to take a gajillion here. Nothing to do about it. That's how being on the draw works. I would absolutely have traded this morph creature for that Ball Lightning if I was given the option. Alright, so I'm functionally at 8 already. Game's only just started, and here we are. That Seal of Fire in play. Okay, I am going to play Nantuko Vig face down. It'll probably just eat the Seal of Fire, but that is something that needs to happen. Yeah, killing that with Seal of Fire versus instantly flashing back the Cabal Therapy to take the Incinerate. It's like Incinerate deals 1 more, but they haven't spent any mana on it yet. That's some interesting pre-modern theory to digest. Hell yeah, alright. Them having a creature here is nice, because I'm going to deed for 1 this turn anyway. Okay, Forest. Play this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've almost turned on Barbarian Ring. Incinerate, I'm at 5, which is actually 4 because of the Fanatic. Play around Raging Goblin by waiting until combat to bust this thing. Alright, I'm dead to any spell. Like a burn spell gives them Threshold here. Oh, if they just have Fire Blast too, then mega covered. Okay. Yeah, this game determined entirely on a turn 1 Cabal Therapy. Good stuff. Ravenous Baloth coming in. And the Blastoderms let me race and give me some size. Naturalize can take out Curse Scroll and Sulfuric Vortex. The Deed and Vigilantes do that anyway. I'm not going to Haunting Echoes this opponent, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm here for the Naturalize stuff. Smother's good, the walls are good. The second Genesis, I can't imagine that coming up very often in this matchup. Duress is nice. Cabal Therapy is nice if I can hit. Do I shave a Dust Bowl? Do you ever go down a land? In 27 is so many lands. Especially with Tusker. Yeah, I'm cutting Dust Bowl. Okay, I will keep this. And serious decision right now to go for therapies or go for Wall of Roots. I think with the double therapy, I can go for it here. I'm going to name Jackal Pup. It's just the best card they could play on turn 1. We got 2 of them. Bing, 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 bing. Put them in the bin. Okay, nice. The bad news is I am turboing my opponent's Curse Scroll out because they're going to very quickly have no cards in their hand. Ball Lightning versus Fire Blast. Ball Lightning does more damage. Is it that simple? Or is there some talk about what if they don't make it to 3 mana? What if I absorb 5 of the damage from Ball Lightning with this Wall of Roots? How do we balance all this? Fire Blast is an instant where Ball Lightning is a guy. Like they have to tap out of their turn. That costs them a Curse Scroll activation. They have to find the 3rd mana first. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for Fire Blast here. There goes Fire Blast. They've got Ball Lightning, Seal of Fire, Mountain in their hand. My next mana is an important one. Mountain's in, Seal of Fire's in. That's kind of a mana. Slow mana. I'm at 20 going into turn 3. If my opponent jams Ball Lightning here, I will not be absorbing 5 damage of it with Wall of Roots. I'll let Ravenous Baloth do that business later. Yep, fair enough. Opponent's got 1 card in hand, I'm at 14, which is functionally 12 because of Seal. I accept. Hitting that land is solid. I can just go straight into Baloth here. Yeah, I like that. This is casual for life, and the way that you beat burn in basically all formats is by killing them, not by stabilizing against them. So having a 4/4 means I don't care about any of their creatures anymore, and also I am winning somehow. All right, they dumped out a bunch of donkers, and then Pernicious Deed is just going to win this game right now. Dust Bowl, 1, 2, 3. Pernicious Deed. You can even sneak the other Wall of Roots in. Wall. Deed for 1. Delete all of your permanents. Hell yeah. Okay. Now I got to get one on the draw. Engineered Plague, just name Elemental and kill all future Ball Lightnings. That sounds like such a crapshoot. I don't think I'm interested in that. Though, I mean, the more I think about it, their deck is defined by X1s. Even if they don't have Ball Lightning, they might have 2 Jackal Pops where Engineered Plague also cleans up. I don't think I'm actually going to do this, but it is interesting to think about. Like, what would I do instead? Cut Genesis, because the game is never ever going to take that long. But a 4/4 is kind of nice. Yeah, my opportunity to think about it has come and gone, but that might have been more interesting than I gave it credit for originally. This hand needs the 3rd land to show up, but I do like duressing them on 1, and I do like this handful of beef. Genesis is the card I would have boarded out for an Engineered Plague, so we have the opportunity here to imagine what if. Ooh, no 1-drop. That's so good for me. Ravenous Baloth number 2. Duress. Show me that handful of spells. Bolt in response. Price of Progress, Lightning Bolt, Curse Scroll. Which of these cards am I actually most afraid of? It might be Curse Scroll. I have 16 basic lands in my deck. Curse Scroll takes a while to heat up, but we might have a while here. Do I think they can get to 3 mana and get their hand empty before I can get to Ravenous Baloth? I think that's the race we're actually talking about here. I'm going to take the Bolt and recognize that Curse Scroll may have been the right call. Like, Curse Scroll has to activate successfully twice before it adds up to 1 Bolt. Deck, please, don't do it to me. Literally just a land here. Cycles Tusker, gets Baloth going. They did not fetch, meaning they are interested in drawing lands. Mog Fanatic, that's a steady source of damage. All right, deck, please. Now's the time. Don't fuck me. Yeah. I love you, deck. I knew you would never betray me. Do I want to get this Deed in? I don't think so. I think I want to cycle Tusker and get Ravenous Baloth into play. That feels more important and more urgent. I can deal with the scroll. Like, my opponent has to get to 3 mana, which they did just clear that bar on, and then they have to get their hand empty. And if the one unknown card in their hand right now is Ball Lightning, that's kind of a dicking. Oh yeah. Dicking received. So I'm at 9 now, all of a sudden. But I am also about to turn the corner. Cycle Tusker, get a Forest, and drew a Swamp. All right, my mana's good forever. Ravenous Baloth, get in there. That Wall of Roots I can do some tricks with next turn. Price of Progress is good for 2. That's not very much. And it's coming up the hand. Okay, Curse Scroll's on, but I think I'm ahead of it at this point. Another Tusker. 1, 2. Wall of Roots. 1, 2, 3. Pernicious Deed. Deed for 1. I'm just going to clear this Curse Scroll before it hits me twice. I go to 7 here. I attack them to 14, and I can be at 11 anytime I want. With more beasts coming. Nothing but beasts. My hand is 3 different beasts. We love beasts. Barbarian Ring. You do have Threshold. Nantuko Vig. I'm going to attack first, because I know they can't kill me right now. Let me get this 4 damage while I can. And then Blastoderm is bigger, and that's really the only thing I'm thinking about. Beast players only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, using the Wall of Roots means I can cycle Krosan Tusker. Okay, I'm at 5. Is there any one card they could draw that kills me? I don't think so, because I can sack Blastoderm to gain 4 life and then sack Ravenous Baloth to gain 4 life if they somehow kill me in response, but that means they need 2 cards in their hand that each deal 5 damage, which is not possible because one of them is Price of Progress. Yeah, alright. Beasting out. Love it. On to this final round, trophy round. Let's do it. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. On the play in the final trophy round, a Cursed Mulligan. Can't play on 2 Dust Bowls. A Handsome Beautiful. 6 though. I'll keep this and bottom Treetop Village. Oh, what does this card actually look like? Do I want a bottom forest and just have access to 2 villages? I think I do. Village pass. If they're a wasteland deck with 2 wastelands, I've just cooked myself. But if this game's going to go long and we're going to make lots of small decisions, then I have not cooked myself. I've been smart. Wall of Roots. Pass. I don't think Treetop Village is enough for me to confidently Cabal Therapy. Maybe for someone who's more dialed into Premodern. Oh, is this the full-ass mirror? This could be like Rexer. Am I worried about survival of the fittest here? Oh, I got 2 bullets now. Okay. Cabal Therapy. I'm going to name Survival, because that's one of the scary cards that I don't have that could flip the script on me. Oh, this is just the full-ass mirror match, and my opponent has double Cabal Therapy as well, and they're much more willing to sacrifice their creature than I am. Hate that. Okay. I could knock the therapies out of their hand. Yeah, they even have a swamp. Yeah, they could just... I will be completely hellbent next turn with basically no recourse if I don't flashback Cabal Therapy. I could stand up Treetop Village and sack that, but that is basically the same thing, but worse. All right. Therapy you back. And I think I'm going to name Therapies. All right, Therapy the Therapies. That makes those harder to use. And just kidding, I can't actually use that green. All right, I've got another Therapy for next turn that can take the Pernicious Deeds. Or am I more worried about Ravenous Baloth? And I'm not equipped for a 4/4. Cabal Therapy has resolved. Survival of the fittest. Okay, I planted the seed. I planted a broken seed in their head. If they play out a deed here to get around getting 2-for-1 by my therapy, then I will name Baloth. All right, and I'll just deal with the deeds. Because I have Nantuko Vig. Not sad about a land. Therapy naming Ravenous Bee. Ravenous Baloth. We'll take that one. And is deed in 2 lands now. I could play this Nantuko Vigilante, which I guess I should just do, because them popping this deed to clear the Nantuko Vigilante is the same as me waiting 2 turns to destroy the deed. I guess the difference would be I get a 3/2 on the other side, because 0 is a lot less than 4 to actually activate the deed. Okay, we are officially in garbage time, and the first person to draw a really good card is going to take over. That might be a really good card. Dust Bowl. I mean, now we both have tools that mean the other is not going to be attacking with Treetop Village. Oh no. Nothing that costs 4 is good for me. Face up Nantuko. Alright. Yep, that does play around everything. Wall of Roots. Alright. Give me that. Will I be Dust Bowling this turn? It's possible. I will not be Treetop Villaging. I'll tap my mana appropriately. They played a swamp. I've lost track. Is this the swamp I know about? Oh, it's a big deal to know whether I know the last card in my opponent's hand or not. My own Pernicious Deed. Okay, I could activate a Treetop Village, attack. Blocking with Nantuko Vigilante is so free, though. Okay, I'm going to pass. If my opponent didn't have a 3-power creature in play, I would attack with a village. Then maybe they pop Deed. If they do, I sack the village to blow up their village, and I get a 2-for-1. I sacrificed something that was dying anyway. Smothering my wall. Sad. All right, I'll activate the wall. What am I doing about this Nantuko Vigilante? I guess I will dare them to attack into it. Okay, what do we got here? If they attack with Vig, I'll trade. If they blow Deed, I'll destroy their Treetop Village. Okay. I got a 2-for-1 out of that, though I am behind on the board, but now I can play a Deed that their Deed can't blow up. Treetop Village from hand. Okay. They did play the swamp, and I didn't know about it. 1, 2, 3. Pernicious Deed of my very own. This can stabilize next turn, and then I can smother the Treetop Village. I'm at 14. Second Dust Bowl drawn. Pass the turn. Played out a swamp. I'm just going to deed for 4 here. Bang. All right, we're racing to a Genesis or a Krosan Tusker. That's too many smothers. And my Treetop Village works now, and theirs doesn't, though. Though it does require green mana to activate. They should know I have Smother from the discard spells earlier in the game. Okay, attack. All right, they've started to activate Treetop Village and then probably remembered that I had Smother or realized they're ahead on the damage race. Both reasonable outcomes there. I'm just going to keep beating because I have the upper hand right now, but that could shift quickly. Llanowar Waste. Dumping those lands out. I've also got one. Now if they ever kill my Treetop Village, I can kill theirs too. I have enough mana to attack and hold up Dust Bowl. Oh no. All right. Here we go. I think they should wait till my turn to do this though. Because right now I just get to use, if you Dust Bowl on your turn, I'm going to Dust Bowl back. And yeah, okay, here we go. And then I have all my mana available on my turn. And nobody's actually really ahead or anything. I'll invest in a Pernicious Deed. Play around the discard at least. And if nobody activates a Treetop Village, then nobody has to Dust Bowl. Uh-oh, 2 of them now. But I have infinite answers to it with Dust Bowl. That's how that card works. I could Dust Bowl their Dust Bowl. It's weird that that didn't occur to me until right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I've got a Morph creature. I think in their end step, I am going to Dust Bowl the Dust Bowl. Though, yeah, Duress takes one of the 2 smothers. That's fine. I should wait till I have more mana, because then I can sack the land they target with their Dust Bowl on the way out to Dust Bowl them a second time. Yeah, that's way better. Uh-oh. Straight up Tusken it. Tusken Raiders. It might be better to just cast this, but I've already jammed it off. I was so excited to see it. You mean I get to draw 2 cards? 2 cards are certainly better than a 6 power creature in play with my opponent at 11. All right, 1, 2, 3, activate. Yeah, we're not there yet. Next turn. A Morph. It's probably the same Morph that I'm playing. There's a good chance. Another Tusker. Okay. Maybe this one I'll actually cast. I will attack with my Morph. Block with yours. Am I going to lose my Deed in response? Yes, sir. That's fine. This all works out mostly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so if I go 1, 2, 3, sack, target Dust Bowl, they go, I can get, I think I'm still interested in the 2-for-1 game more than I'm interested in the cast a 6/5 game. Okay, end step. Destroy Dust Bowl. 1, 2, 3, sack a swamp. And then you can sack the Dust Bowl to itself to destroy my Treetop Village, which I'll then destroy one of your Treetop Villages with. Oh, going after my Dust Bowl. But I have 2. All right, sure. And I'll keep a Treetop Village if you insist. Okay. Set that one up for multiple turns. We work really hard for a reasonable exchange in Premodern. Okay, I am going to now attack with my Treetop Village, who is unlocked. My opponent knows my hand has Smother in it. I don't know if my opponent's hand has Smother in it. I'm about to find out. Tilt. Okay, I have been smothered. And man, I just love a 2-for-1. Get a forest, draw a card. Another forest. So far, I've discarded 12 power in this game, where my opponent is at 9. For those keeping track at home. Another Deed. Get him in there. Wall of Blossoms. Something to do. Oh my god. Duress. Alright, yeah, I'll take a look. Smother and Deed are over there. I'll take Deed. I'll let you have Smother. I know from lived experience how conditional and potentially useless Smother is. Oh no. Shit. That's all right. I have Deed. Another wall. Anyway, here's another wall. Play out Llanowar Waste. I'm going to block for at least 1 turn, so I don't need to flashback therapy yet. Whoever draws their 1 of Echoes first is going to be doing okay. Block. Dust Bowl. Another one. Okay. We're back in this shit. Do I want to therapy the Smother? Do I care? I guess I probably care. Smother. I would have won this game so hard if I had just cast either of those Krosan Tuskers ever. Just for everyone, keep it score at home. I'm going to take 4 from this Baloth. 10 life is fine. I just want to make sure they don't get to deploy something free and easy in the second main. All right. I mean, if that's the case, then I might not bust it at all. Wall of Blossoms, we get to block again. Looking for that Echoes. Ball Therapy. Couldn't be me. All right, pass the turn. The Wall of Blossoms means I get to block again. And I can hold on to my deed just a little longer. Oh no, I'm getting echoed! My Tuskers are gone. Son of a biscuit. All right, well, there's the draw. How many cards are left in my deck? My Ravenous Baloth is still in there. My Treetop Villages are gone. My Echo is still in there. Tuskers are gone. Yeah, I mean, 15 cards left in my deck. Echoing you back isn't the worst thing I've ever heard. All right, I'll block here. Having a deed in play also bought me a little bit of action. My Echoes, which I'm now much more likely to draw. Oh, my Baloth. What could they have? I feel like Krosan Tusker might have happened already. I don't even know if they're on the Tusker build, though, I mean, this certainly looks like it's the mirror match. All right, I'm going to Cabal Therapy, and I'm going to name Krosan Tusker. That's just like the best card we haven't seen yet. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. Get rid of it. Deleted. Who's winning the damage race right now? All right, I'm playing my Baloth and passing the turn. We can slug it out a little longer. Their Treetop Village is covered. The problem is the second I blow the deed, I am shields down to any future creature they play. But if I can draw my Echo, get rid of the Tuskers, I could still win this game by decking. I refuse to crack this deed until I'm literally dead. Second Baloth. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Walked him into deed actually being a 2-for-1. I'll play this Swamp from my hand and pass the turn. We both still have all of our Genesees. I'm more likely to draw them, though. If I block and sack my Baloth, stay at 6, this is another turn I get to keep my deed. All right, tread water, stay at 6. Come on, Echoes. Another Baloth. We play on. I'll just make that same play again. Block, sack, stay at 6. 12 cards left in my deck. 2 of them are Genesis, 1 of them is Echoes. Uh-oh. Now I'm in trouble. I have to bust my deed, and if they have a follow-up, I'm basically cooked. All right, it is now forced action. You gain 8 life on the way through. I just gotta hope the hand is a bunch of air, but follow-up Baloth here gets me, and I can't be like value Dust Bowling to try to keep them off 7 because they have 7 mana for 1. Yeah, here's fucking Baloth. If I draw Genesis right now, I can still save Loss. Because I can block and then start recurring Baloths forever. Or I can draw another damn Swamp. Okay, so I messed this game up. I identified the Krosan Tusker jam it line and then just did something else like an idiot. And I fully accept that. My opponent also just got to their Haunting Echoes before me, which, you know, what are you going to do? Smother seemed pretty bad. Like, it is counterplay for the Treetop Villages, but I don't think that's what I want to be doing. The Vigilante challenging the deed is interesting because deed is a big part of this game. I think I want more Echoes, but I don't think I want all 3. I think getting to it first matters, but the second and third one are pretty bad. Do I cut Wall of Roots because the game's just going to take forever and there's going to be a million wraths along the way? This makes sense to me. Here we go. Okay, so I made a lot of good plays on the tactical level in that, but strategically, I just lost sight of the plot, which is kill my opponent. Mulligan this. Okay, I'll keep this one. Do I want Genesis around, or do I want Ravenous Baloth around? I think I want Genesis around, actually. Because the only exile in these decks is the Echoes, and if I just put Genesis into play at some point, that's pretty solid. All right, Duress you. Cabal Therapy. They kept Wall of Blossoms, 5 lands, Dust Bowl. I would keep that too. Okay, hit my land. Now they have a decision, which is, do you cast Cabal Therapy? And if you do, what do you name? Because they have the Wall of Blossoms, which basically what it's for is to sacrifice to Cabal Therapy. Okay, cool. I didn't get double Therapy Tusked, which is great news. Fuck. All right, well, I'll cycle one of these, so at least I don't get 2 for 1. Take a forest, draw a card. Okay. They would have to blind name Tusker here. Yeah, Ravenous Baloth. I bottomed that one, remember? Played around it. And now they could sack Wall of Blossoms to take the other Tusker, which I think is absolutely worth it. Yep. All right, I've been Tusk Therapied. Treetop Village, yuck. That's actually a good one. Wall of Root's pretty okay, though. Neutralizes Treetop Village, and then I get to play Genesis next turn, which my opponent is not highly incentivized to kill. This feels like the most important card in this mirror match that neither of us saw on that 20-turn game last game. Blastoderm, Blastid's nuts. And I'm just going to play Genesis, and I'm happy to block Blastoderm and get my Tuskers going next turn. My opponent would have to have Echoes right now, and I know 3 of their cards in hand. And if you attack with Blastoderm, I block with Genesis, and then you Echoes me, okay, I accept. I'm just going to really hope that doesn't happen. Ravenous Baloth, okay. And played a Forest when I know the hand is Swamps and Dust Bowls, okay. Right, Afraid to Attack, which is what I'm looking for. Wall of Blossoms. Ravenous Baloth. Let's gum this shit up. If you're afraid to attack, are you also afraid to block? Yes. That does mean Blastoderm can attack, but I think I can afford it. Block Ravenous Baloth with my 0/5 and take 5 from the other one. Dust Bowl, another wall, a swamp, and you want to race? Let's race. And I think Deed is better in play than it is in my hand. There's a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard. Let's at least put the chips on the table. A big Deed could force the Genesis into my graveyard, where it's then useful. No attack, heck yeah. Realized the Genesis is functionally untouchable. Alright, I'm going to attack with Genesis. They'll probably just block with Blastoderm and then sack Blastoderm before damage. Ooh, or take 4. That works too. Do I want 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, I guess. Pile it in. I'm worried about exactly Pernicious Deed here. Alright, sacking for 4 damage could be a 12 here. There's a swamp. There's the one card I was worried about. But Genesis is still looming over this game. Attack with the squad. Blocking Genesis. Deed for 5. Alright, well, I'll start sacking some beasts. And right now, I really need my opponent not to have fucking Echoes in their hand. That is the one thing that brings my life to a grinding halt right now. Play out my swamp. I'm not bluffing anything. If you have Echoes, you got me. If you don't, I'm going nuts. There's the last swamp I knew about. 2 cards in hand. Please just attack me with Treetop Village. No, that's so much mana. What is happening? This is not even Echoes. Oh, it's a Tusker, sure. I'm way less scared of that. I think I'm going to recur one of my own Tuskers and draw a card. Dust Bowl. Cycle Tusker. Get a Forest. Draw a card. Cabal Therapy. What would I Therapy? I mean, I'm not going to hold this, so I'll Therapy naming Tusker. Land War Waste, okay. Hand is blank, but I am getting hit pretty hard. The Dust Bowl answers the Treetop Village. Village is up. This is a hit for 9. Oh no, a spell? Did you draw Tusker after I got you with Tusker? Alright. That's magic sometimes. What is my best path out of this? Probably Wall of Blossoms. That is my cheapest way to draw another card. Wall of Blossoms. I need to dig for Pernicious Deed. I could have killed Treetop Village there without them being able to dust me right back. There's Village. Block. Destroy Treetop Village. I'll sack the Llanowar Waste to do it. Then I'm going to lose my Dust Bowl to their Dust Bowl. Oh, they didn't sack the Treetop Village. Okay. Now this turn I have to buy back Ravenous Baloth, because because I need the life buffer. Add a cheeky blocker next turn, but Ravenous Baloth will be overrun in 2 hits here because Tusker is doing 2 points more and it's a 4-point gain. Oh no, did you draw D to just win? Come on. All right. Well, so I played bad in game 1 and then I got outdrawn in game 2. And if I play well in game 1, then it's okay to get outdrawn in game 2. But GG's. And the mirror, the full, probably 75 card mirror. Good shit. A 4-1 record, punting the mirror in the final round. I'll take that. This deck felt awesome. This is one of those decks that gets to exist in these kind of medium power formats where this is just a bunch of shit. It's just card draw, discard, sweepers, and ways to see more cards. And then eventually you just have more cards than your opponent and you win somehow. It feels like this deck has its finger on the pulse of what actually matters in the format. And although none of the cards are particularly strong on their own, over any medium length game, you're going to draw the cards that line up against what your opponent's trying to do, which then buys you tons of time to do more of the small things. Really good stuff. I think if I had a real tournament, I would strongly consider something like this. The Krosan Tusker aspect of it, I like that so much more than normal, just green-black mid-range. This feels like you're really doing something, and it's with a card that I love. John, thank you for the opportunity to play this. Brian Cowell, thank you for putting this out in the world. I don't know if this is his brew or if this is an established deck, but he certainly won a tournament recently that put it on my radar. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.